Hi, my name is Julia Schwartz. This is my interaction number one video for the Global Learning Project. Just to recap, I am working with my sweet mate. Her name is Vivian, and she is an international student from China. Um, and for our interaction, we just went to dinner because it was convenient for us. And so we just got dinner, sat down, and talked. And it was really interesting because you hear all the stereotypes about China and you hear, all the generalizations, but I've never heard it from someone from that culture. I've never heard it directly from someone. So it was really interesting and I really enjoyed hearing about it. Um, and I didn't realize how different it really was. The stereotypes are that school is so important there, and, eventually kind of just figure that it really is. But hearing it from her and just how her school day is compared to what it is here in the US was just crazy to me. I mean, she was doing school every day. She said for her junior high and like her high school would be there. She even stayed in dorms for that because it was just that big of a priority that you were always around people studying. And she said that they would have school days where you'd have school and then you'd have study sessions, like mandatory study sessions. Um, and she said she would be doing school from the morning all the way till almost 11 o'clock at night, and there was no time otherwise. And that is just so different from here because, um, we value individuality in the US and in my culture and in the education system. Everyone, it's built around like taking the right classes for you and your level, and also like the extracurricular activities that go with it are just almost just as important. I mean, school is obviously more important, but um, like the sports you're in, the clubs you're in are part of who you are. And um, over in China, it's not like that. You don't get the opportunities. There's no sports, no clubs through the school because there's no time for that. She kept saying something that her parents and teachers would say about like no play, and it was all about school, and that is kind of what they went by, and that was just so shocking to me. And I I don't know, it just I couldn't believe how much school really is, and how she said that being here at MSU is so different because things they couldn't do before high school, things like she couldn't wear makeup, she couldn't dye her hair per the school and her parents' rules. She couldn't have a boyfriend, she couldn't, nothing was to interfere with the learning. And I just, I couldn't, I've said this, I couldn't believe how different it was. And just especially about the extracurricular. She said you could do extra things outside of school, but it was just too much. And I don't know. I mean, the interaction overall was very, it was good. I mean, there were a few times I didn't want it to feel like I was being question answer, like an interview. I wanted it to be more of a conversation. So I would tell her about my culture too, and she would ask me questions. I think this was probably the hardest part, was she would ask me questions and her English wasn't always the greatest. So it was kind of hard to understand her questions, and I would try to keep answering them, but I'm not sure how well I did. So I hope I got the point across to what she was asking. I did feel bad at times, but yeah, I just hope that uh, she was able to understand what I was telling her and that I was understanding her correctly. So that part was hard. But just hearing about the difference and telling her about how my school day would be from morning to about 2 o'clock, and then I would have cheer practice. And then there were a few clubs I was involved in. So it it's just, there's more majority and individuality I've noticed here. And she even told me that over there, with the whole, again, with the whole no makeup no hair changing. She said they had like uniforms, so there really isn't a lot of individuality, and that was the biggest thing I think I took out of this, and the biggest difference was the like developing yourself here, and in China there are huge expectations for them to meet, and if they're not met, uh, there are punishments per the school and also her parents. So I really enjoyed talking to her. I'm really excited about being the cultural host. I think that'll be exciting and a good chance to get to know her more. So yeah, I hope that goes well.